Good evening and welcome to the Village of Westmont official voting board meeting for December 7th, 2009. I'd ask our clerk to take the roll call to start our meeting this evening.
Mayor Ron?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Emery is absent tonight. Trustee Fleming?
Here.
Trustee Forsley?
Here.
Trustee Klebanow?
Here.
Trustee Scott?
Here.
Trustee Seneca? Here. Manager Searle?
Here.
Attorney Zemanek?
Here.
Police Chief Mulhern? Here. Fire Chief Trout? Here. Economic Development Director and Assistant Manager Kimball?
Here. Okay. Thank you. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item are the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held November 12th and board meeting held November 16th, 2009.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Present.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Reports, the mayor. I just wanted to mention again how beautifully decorated our village has become for this holiday season. It just seems like our park district decorations at Memorial Park are absolutely gorgeous. Residents are putting up more lights, I think, and decorations than they have for the past few years. The town looks absolutely beautiful. And the next thing I wanted to mention is that we all make sure that we get out and support the businesses that are in Westmont for this holiday season. They depend on us, residents who live here in the village of Westmont, to support them, as well as people coming in from other surrounding communities. We don't have a store for everything, but we have a lot of different stores that all of us can shop at in the village of Westmont. So let's try to get out there and support our businesses, our restaurants, our shops as much as we can here in Westmont this holiday season. And that is all that I have this time. Next, our village clerk.
I just want to announce to the residents that there will be a blood drive, community blood drive held at the Westmont Fire Department on December 16th from 3 till 6 o'clock, from 3 p.m. till 6 o'clock p.m. And that's at the department headquarters at 6015 South Cass Avenue. For more information, they can contact the fire department at 630-981-6400. Thank you.
Next, our village attorney, John Zemanek.
Thank you, Mayor. Just an update on the Divine Wine request that was before you on Thursday. As you recall, that was a bit of an impromptu request, and it did not or does not appear on the agenda tonight for a couple reasons that the mayor asked me to explain for you. One, because it was an impromptu request, there wasn't sufficient time, at least in the mayor's mind and the clerk's mind, who has to administer liquor license applications, to digest the request, the ramifications, and best how to handle it, and perhaps not fair to the board members, even though you expressed, positive reception towards the idea. Also, there was some concern about the precedent a request like this may set. So the owner of Divine Wine was advised that the board viewed your request favorably, but procedurally, it's the preference of the clerk and the mayor that if he wants to pursue this request, that he would have to pay the 2010 liquor fees in full and then come before this board and ask for a refund of those fees. And again, it was explained that the board seemed to receive that request favorably, but at this point it was unknown whether he would need a 2010 liquor license at all. Some hesitations whether it was even a good way to do business to grant relief when we didn't even know if the applicant needed it or not. So he was given the choice to come in now, pay for the license for 2010 and get on the next agenda before the board, or wait until the end of the year when he'll have a better sense of whether he really needs the license and then come before you in January. So he knows his choices and he knows what your initial reactions were. And that's all I have.
Any comments from board members?
I hope that we can help them somehow.
Right.
You know, hopefully they'll come and just pay it, and then we can face it when we need to.
And I think
if we need to.
I
They
think
may
that
sell out.
point was made very clearly to him
Absolutely.
when he came before us on Thursday evening.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've always done so much to help our businesses, and I think this would just be one more thing. Even though we're going to lose a good business, I would like to see us help them as much as we can.
Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you. Village Manager Ron Searle.
Thank you. I would like to request an executive session to discuss personnel. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. New business, 2009 tax levy ordinance. Board to consider an ordinance approving the 2009 tax levy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I do have a question. The increase, if I understood it right, is going, the entire increase is going to go to the police pension?
That was the board's wishes during the discussions, correct?
Because I went back and replayed the tape, and about 3 times Lisa kept saying that this is one area that was going to, you know, that the increase would go to, and I just wanted to make sure that people understood, according to what I understood in the executive or in our meetings for the finance meetings, that we won't even get that money in hand. I wanted the public to realize that that money, the increase is going 100% to fund the police pension, and we won't even touch it. And I was just worried that if people heard the same thing I did, that they were thinking that this is just another way of raising rates.
Yeah. No, that was the direction that the board gave in the committee meeting, so that is the expectation.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thanks.
Roll call on the 2009 tax levy.
Trustee Fleming?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Oakwood Industrial Plaza parking. Board to consider an ordinance to establish uniform parking restrictions in the Oakwood Industrial Plaza.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
The only comment would be it's really not uniform. The word is a little misleading. We made some changes. I don't know if it matters.
Well, the changes are what they are, as set forth in the ordinance, or, you know.
So we're okay with
You
it.
may be correct that it's not really uniform changes, but I think the ordinance
So we're okay.
reflects what the changes are, yeah.
Great, thank you.
So the changes were the 2-hour parking limit on the one side?
And the no parking
And no
across
parking,
from that
right.
one building.
That was really the only two,
Well, and
Oh,
then
no, and
across
then
the street,
around-
then around the park
around
and
the park.
moving everything over, yeah.
those are the only two that were different, I guess. No, the only one that was different is really the
2-hour.
2-hour parking.
Yeah, there was
For the-
1-hour parking in a section down by Cass, and then that one east side of the park, the parking was on the east side of the street, and now they're moving it to the park side. So there will be parking now all along the park, which
I mean,
makes
different
sense.
from the original
Yeah.
proposal.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, okay, I
Yeah,
get
Only
it.
thing different- The only thing different, I think, from the original proposal was that we put in for, I think it's in front of the 401 building,
Yeah, that was no park.
right, but then from that point to Blackhawk, Plaza to Blackhawk, that'll be a 2-hour limit, and that's to precipitate the resource center so
Right.
people can come in and park and
But I think the point was also clearly made that it's not etched in stone.
We can change.
Just like when we passed the parking requirements changes downtown, we went back and revisited it several weeks later, and there's nothing preventing us from changing this again and meeting business needs in that area. Any other questions?
Nope.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Fleming?
yes.
Trustee Klebanow?
Yes.
Trustee Seneca?
Yes.
Trustee Forsley?
Yes.
Trustee Scott?
Yes.
6635 South Cass, Ashton Grove. Board to consider an ordinance granting an extension of the zoning code variance request to exceed the maximum allowable density through December 6, 2011.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
233 West Ogden, electric car outlet. Board to consider an ordinance approving a special use permit request to allow the sale of electric golf carts in the B2 General Business District.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Thank you. 328 South Wilmette, Clearwire. Board to consider approval of the following ordinances. A, zoning code variance request to permit more than 3 antennas on a structure, and B, zoning code variance request to permit an equipment shelter in the required front yard setback. Do we have a motion on point A?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Okay. Point B. We have a motion.
So move.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Mutual Aid Network. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing execution of the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network Agreement.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee, sorry, I got confused here. Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Next item, Water Conservation and Protection Program. Board to consider a resolution supporting the Water Conservation and Protection Program established by the DuPage Water Commission.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Lee, did you make the motion?
Roll call.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Release agreement. Board to consider an ordinance approving a release agreement with Lexon Insurance Company providing surety bond funds to the Village of Westmont for the residences of Oak Brook Hills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Next item, massage establishment licenses. Board to consider an ordinance reducing the number of available massage establishment licenses from 10 to 9.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Finance ordinance number 15.
Wait a minute, I have to find my thing. We have before us on the 7th day of December 2009, a finance ordinance in the amount of $1,162,363.95.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Purchase orders.
Motion to approve is a block for $76,240.79.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Anything else to come before the board at this time? If not, I would accept a motion to adjourn to executive session as requested by the manager regarding personnel.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Scott.
Yes.
Trustee Fleming.
Yes.
Trustee Klebanow.
Yes.
Trustee Forsley.
Yes.
Trustee Seneca.
Yes.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.